So this week I'm going to show you one of my favorite modulation tricks to do when sound designing and creating a sound from scratch. You can do it on any synth. I just do it on the Peak because it has loads of modulation options and it's really easy for you to see everything that's going on. So let me show you the sound that before I get ahead of myself, let me show you the sound. Super simple. At the moment I just have two sawtooths and the LFO. And in the context of some music. So the thing that I really love about this is the LFO rate is not just set at one, and it's at one rate, and I'm not having to change anything with my hand. I'm doing it all via key tracking on the actual keyboard. So let's initialize the patch, and then we'll just have a simple. Let's pull the cutoff down so it's not blasting, and let's pull down so we just have one oscillator now. And then let's bring up the second oscillator, and because this is a digital synth, the two will be in pitch perfect. It's a little bit off here and there, but for the most part it's pretty dialed in. Now the reason why I kind of had this idea for this patch is because I love the sound of the musical beats, and not like beats like drums, but the beats. If you've ever tuned your guitar by ear, and you can hear when it's out and then when it comes in, the beats. Let me demonstrate it before. I can talk about this, but let me demo it, and we'll see how it really sounds. So let's take oscillator 2, and I'm just going to fine tune it out. And you can hear it's sort of like, it kind of sounds like an LFO between the two, but it's like just the two oscillators fighting against each other. Gets faster, and then as we get closer, it will get slower. If I bring it down, super slow. If I go up, and you can hear it kind of tracks there, but once you start creating a patch and you're designing the sound and everything, you can't really rely on that, on the beats between the two oscillators or three oscillators to really get dialed in. And again, if you add a third oscillator in, it's kind of all over the place. We're not really going to be able to track that properly, and it kind of loses the effect. So that's where I was having to think about it, and I hit up one of my friends and I was asking him about it, and we just thought of this super simple solution, and I think it's really good, and it's something that I use, and I've used in, obviously I've got this little chunk of music I've used in a song, and I just love the effect of it. So let's pull down the third oscillator. Kind of get them a little bit more in, so it's only 5 cents off. And then as we come up to the mod matrix, and then we're going to choose the keyboard as the modulator, and then the destination is going to be LFO 1 rate. So this is the LFO 1 up here, and if I go all the way, so that's kind of like the old school dubstep sort of vibe. I've got it maxed out just for the effect. And what we can do now is we haven't added any depth to it. So let's go to the depth, and then this is the amount of the key tracking that we want to apply to the LFO rate. So let's go and max it out. And now, if we start down low, and you can hear there, it's starting to like, you can hear the difference in the sound as I go up and down the keyboard. So I've got like a little bit of music here that I played from the start. And we can pull this down. That's cool, but I kind of like the effect of when a string player can play a note and then they might sort of start to put some like a little bend at the end, and that's kind of the effect that I was going for here. So the cool thing about these LFOs is it has a fade time on there. So let's play the music again. And it's just getting a dialed in sort of sound of what you're after. Going over to a sawtooth LFO shape. Add a little bit of reverb in there. For the music that we were playing before, it's a little bit smoother with just the triangle. And if now when we go and we'll add in a third. Go for a different wave shape. Bit of chorus on there. Add some overdrive and distortion. Pull it down in the mix just a little bit. And I find that is so... I just love the sound of that so much more than just having... Or if you went one more, we still had the LFO on there, but while it sounds cool, I find that just having a little bit more and going that kind of little extra step with the sound design, you create something that sort of grows with the song and moves with the song, which I think it sounds really good. So this was a really short one today. Hopefully you got something out of it. And again, this doesn't just apply to this synth. You can do it to software synths just as long as you have some modulation sources and mod matrix that you can sort of move and direct different things to the LFO. Again, hopefully this has inspired you to create something today. And until next time, see you later.